Are you sick and tired of gambling your hard-earned money on Madden and 2K packs? Well, look no further than my sponsor, MMOEXP, for the cheapest and most reliable Madden and 2K coins on the market. And of course, do not forget to use code Ferdy for 5% off. A link for their website is at the top of the description. What's going on, guys? Today we are talking about the best budget cards at each position currently here in Madden 23. And in this video, we do find cards at all different budgets, varying from 100k to 50k, 75k, 20k. Some cards I feel like are good budget cards, so there are varying budgets in this video. Real quick before we get started, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. We do post daily Madden 23 content. But yeah, let's just get started here with our quarterback. So coming in here at about 80k, we have Russell Wilson. I feel like right now, if you look at the quarterback landscape budget-wise, there isn't that many great options for under 100k. But yeah, he's got good stats. He's got a Gen 3 release pretty decent. He's obviously a decent ball carrier with some decent speed, and also does get the ability to get set feet lead, which is obviously pretty nice. So there's set feet lead 3 AP. Next up, we have a card that is pretty dependent on if he did get his release changed. And I'm like 70% sure he did, because people who were using Bledsoe before his new card came out were telling me that his release didn't change. So from when his card first came out, on September 13th, he didn't have the release that he has now. If this card has the release that his Ghost of Madden Past card has, then he is a really good budget option, because he has one of the better releases in the game right now that does not need Gunslinger, and of course does get the ability set feet lead, which is what you are looking for under this 100k budget. And he's going for about 50k right now, so yeah, pretty good bang for your buck. And finally, he was in the last episode of best budget at each position, but we have Aaron Rodgers. If you want to go real budget here, he's going for 15k, has the best release in the game. Stats not that great, but you'd go after Rodgers for that release. Okay, so not to make this video too long, I'm kind of gonna get through these cards. We have Eric Dickerson, who is still a good budget option, mainly for the build and the size. He should be getting an upgrade soon. Not that it'll affect this card's price, but he was in the last episode as well. He's still a very good budget card with good stats, and also, of course, 2 AP bruiser is what you're looking for here. And we have ETN, who's actually faster than Eric Dickerson, and he is cheaper as well for 62k. He honestly might be better bang for your buck. If you want more of a power back, you go Dickerson. But ETN, 92 speed, 90 acceleration, with, good juke move, stuff like that. This card does play super well. And finally, for super budget, about 38k, we have Kenneth Walker. I did a video on this card, and I really do like this card. Not only stat-wise does he feel great, build-wise he feels great, and finally, 1 AP jukebox on this card is also super nice. So those are our budget running backs. And keep moving here into our fullbacks. We have Ben Skoranek, going for about 60k right now. You're going to see a couple of these 90 overall, zero chill out of position players on here, but Skoranek's down here with the 91 speed. Yeah, that's the main reason why he's here. The lead block and impact block are not that great, but he's a decent option. Next up, we have our receivers. We have Amon-Ra St. Brown. The reason why he's here is because he's 6 foot, but also he's a slot archetype and does get some good abilities. The ability to get deep out and short in is a rare combo for his 2 AP. That's the same ability setup that Herman Moore has, and Herman Moore is one of the best wide receivers in the game. He doesn't have 95 speed like Herman, but it's that ability setup that makes him super versatile, so a super nice card. Next up, we have Terry McLaurin, who, yeah, we all know he's a super good budget, 94 speed. He's been a budget card basically all year, whether it was his Harvest and now this Zero Chill card, but 94 speed at 6 foot. Sign me up. Next up, we got Paris Campbell, who's also 6 foot at 93 speed. I'm going for about the same price as Terry McLaurin and 1 less speed. So there you go. Paris Campbell, Terry McLaurin. And I think I might have one more at receiver. No, we're into our tight ends now. We have Travis Kelce at 6'5", 260, 88 speed. He's pretty nice. And he was a team of the week champion or whatever. So he does also get some pretty good abilities like 1 AP red zone threat, as well as 1 AP tight end apprentice. Next up, we got JJ Watt, tight end. He just announced his retirement today, but this card's actually pretty solid. 6'5", 288. Really good weight with, actually, it's the same speed as Travis Kelce. I would probably take this card over the Kelce card, to be honest. But also, I love the fact that he has 93 run block, and also he's good after the catch. So a little bit more versatile. Yes, his route running isn't as good as Kelce's, but I like his speed. If you can get him in space, he's good after the catch. Good strength, good run block, super versatile. Finally, we have a MUT champ, a MUT draft champs legend. I still don't know how you say his name. Chigozime, maybe? Chigozime Okonkwo, however you say his name. He's 6'3" with 90 speed, so he's 2 speed faster than Kelce and JJ Watt. I'm also good route running, good size. This card actually does play very well. So usually I don't put offensive linemen in these videos, but I do have a couple on here. Andrew Thomas, under 100K, 1 AP edge threat. If you don't have a 1 AP edge threat, go get Andrew Thomas. Next up, we have the brand new left guard Tyreek Hill. Reason why I like this card is if you are someone that runs puller runs, then he's actually a really good option because he has 93 speed. Also 87 run block isn't bad, 88 pass block's not bad. He might get bullied a little bit if you're going to use him as like a traditional lineman because he's, 5'9", 185. But if you have a run, even like if you don't have a budget team, if you have runs where your guards are pulling, you have room for this card, 93 speed, you're definitely going to see him out in front. And my theory in at least last year's Madden was that speed is really what mattered. Getting your offensive lineman downfield is what mattered. So 93 speed could be very interesting on this card. I haven't tried him out yet, but he definitely does entice me for about 60K. Next up, we got Linderbaum at center. Again, that speed at 84, super nice. Also, some pretty decent stats to back it up. Here at right guard, we have Chris Lindstrom. Again, pretty good speed with some pretty good stats as well. And then finally, we have Tristan Wirfs, another 1 AP edge protector. I think for about 140K, getting Andrew Thomas and getting Tristan Wirfs with 1 AP edge on both sides is super necessary right now. I think you've got to have 2 1 AP edge threats or edge protectors in this game because of how good pass rush is. Okay, so now we are on to defense, and here on defense you might see some guys that were in the last episode, but they're still actually good budget. So the theory here with defensive linemen that I usually always say is these like budget legend linemen are always good because if you look down here, they have all 3 traits. Bull rush, yes. Spin move, yes. Swim move, yes. For 50K, with 90 power moves, this card does still play for pretty well for his price. Next up, Deacon Jones, the same thing, 3 traits. He's not going to be as good as this Reggie White card because he doesn't have 90 power moves, but still solid, and he's also a little bit cheaper. Next up, we got Dwight Freeney here at right end. His traits are 2 of 3 over the finesse move threshold, good speed. His cards always play well, also good run stopper. And he's 288, 6'1". Cameron Wake is a 3 threshold guy. If we look right here, 3 threshold guy does hit the finesse, 3 trait guy with a finesse move threshold and good speed, good run stopper. Cameron Wake for 58K. Next up, we got defensive tackle Mean Joe Green. Again, the same thing. He's a 2 trait defensive tackle with 2 thresholds and good speed. His cards also always play super well. If you've been playing Mutt for a while, you know that Mean Joe cards are always top tier, and I do expect a Mean Joe card soon, very soon. They've upgraded a lot of these AKA guys, but they've kind of left Mean Joe behind. Even though we just got Warren Sapp, I feel like Mean Joe is coming. Let's keep moving here. At 45K, we have another defensive tackle, and that's William Perry. 2 traits here, 90 power move, and honestly 90 power move on this card with 2 traits at defensive tackle for 40K. That's pretty good. It's tough to beat that, to be honest. And then we have our left outside linebacker, Terrell Suggs, who again, 2 thresholds, 3 traits, and also some decent abilities with a 0 AP unpredictable, a 0 AP ability super nice. So there you go. Yeah, this card's actually one of the better budget defensive cards in the game because of just how good his stats are, and also the 0 AP ability is super, super nice. Next up, we got Uchenna Nwosu, who is a about 40K card with a threshold, which is what I like, and also 3 traits, which is kind of weird that Uchenna Nwosu has 3 traits, but he does, and 90 finesse moves. One of the better bang for your buck cards on this list today because, for 40K, you get some pretty, basically perfect pass rush stats for a card at this price. I mean, that's pretty solid. That's actually really good. Next up, we got our middle linebacker, and we have 90 overall Donnie Parham. Played this card earlier today. I'm still not sure what, if he does get any discounted abilities. I don't think he does, but still 2 AP lurker on this card at 6'8" as a user, 90 speed. If you can't afford Julius Peppers or Ted Hendricks, or I'm not going to say Bo because he's not 6'8", but if you can't afford those super tall users, Donnie is a pretty good option for about 64K. You might be able to even get him for free through, grinding season stuff, or whatever the case is. But this card does play well. I can confirm it. 92 zone, 90 man, hitting these 2 thresholds. That means you can let him lurk by himself. The COD is also pretty good for playing coverage. Agility a little bit low, but COD for a user is also really good. And this card, I can guarantee you will get a golden ticket come April or whenever we get them. I do believe Troy Anderson was in the last episode, but for about half the price. 6'4", 91 speed's pretty nice, and also 88 zone. Keep moving here. We have another edge rusher. That's Darius Smith. He is a 2 trait guy with 1 threshold for about 80K. I mean, this card's probably not worth what he's going for, but he does play pretty solid and does get El Toro 2 AP, which is not that great, and also edge threat 3 AP. So it's there for you. Probably not that good bang for your buck, to be honest, but he's under 100K and does check off some boxes, so there he is. Next up, we have Khalil Mack, who I actually like better than this Za'Darius card. This Za'Darius card actually probably shouldn't even be here. I'm actually going to get rid of him. He shouldn't even be here for that, because we have Khalil Mack, who's going for about 20K less, two thresholds. He does hit 3 traits, and also does get better abilities with 1 AP defensive rally and 0 AP unpredictable, which I, of course, love. If we keep moving here, we have our corners. We have Deron Bland, who is a 6 foot corner with 92 speed, 94 acceleration. And I always will say this, if you are watching this video and you are just getting started in MUT, the position that you should be spending most of your coins on off rip and be upgrading first is your corner. So I'm not a big fan of going for these budget corners. I like spending coins on corners. You should spend, maybe get like a budget, lineman, or a budget, pass rusher, or a budget, even like receiver or running back, or maybe not quarterback, but I don't like going budget too much at corner. But this card's not a bad option with one, hitting 1 threshold in zone, having good speed, having decent size. So that's kind of my thoughts on these budget corners. We have JC Horn, 91 speed at 6'1", hits two thresholds here, decent press. His card actually does play pretty well. I still see him out there from time to time. Also, 1 AP pick artist is super nice too. So JC for about 60K, he's pretty nice. I think if you want to like get some decent, maybe like 150K to 200K corners, put them on the outsides and then put JC in the slot, you could definitely do that. He can definitely probably still hang there. We have Eric Stokes, who's honestly probably, for budget, the best slot corner right now. 93 speed is still pretty decent, going for about 57K. And he also does get 1 AP pick artist. Let's keep moving here. We now have another cornerback, and that's Trent McDuffie. 52K, 92 speed, 1 threshold, decent pursuit at 5'11". This card plays okay. And also, you might be able to get him for free, so there he is for 50K. Next up, we have another 90 overall out of position that came out today, and that is free safety Derrick Henry with 92 speed, 90 acceleration at 6'3", 255. Great hit power, good block shed, good impact block, good tackling, good zone, and honestly pretty good man. And again, I would imagine that he will get a golden ticket come April or May or March, whenever we get golden tickets this year. But this card again does play pretty well. As a user, might feel a little bit clunky with the COD and the agility, but honestly, pretty impressed by the stats on this card and the speed with the size for a Derrick Henry safety. Next up, we got Rudy Ford, who I believe was in the last episode too, but 92 speed at 5'11" with the man coverage threshold and good run stopping stats. He has to be here for about 55K. And again, I like overspending on my DBs, and safeties are no different. So we have Richie Grant here with, going for 26K at 89 speed, 6 foot, almost zone threshold, decent against the run, but for 25K, he's pretty good bang for your buck. And on to our final 3 cards, we have Nolan Cromell, who is very outdated, but for about 80K, 90 man, 92 zone, decent run stopping stats, and some okay abilities. 1 AP pick artist, deep out zone, deep in zone. He could be worth it depending on your scheme. He definitely could be, but it might be a little bit of an overpay, but does get some pretty good abilities. This card I actually do like as a user as well, and that is Ryan Neal at 6'3" with 92 speed, 93 acceleration. Honestly, super nice, and I'm noticing that there's a lot of budget Seahawks on here. I'm definitely noticing that. Could the Seahawks potentially be like a budget theme team? Because I have Russ on here, I have Kenneth on here. I don't think I have any receivers, but definitely on defense we have a couple Seahawks budget guys like Uchenna Nwosu, Ryan Neal now. But this card, a good user. I don't think you can really let him lurk by himself too much, but as a user, he's pretty solid, mainly because of the awareness and the play rec, but that's about it. And for our final card, I believe he was also in the last episode, but we have the 90 overall Darren Woodson for 55K with 91 speed, zone threshold, hit power threshold. So a pretty solid card for his price. So yeah, that is going to do it for the best budget cards at each position. Drop a comment down below. Did I miss any names? Let me know down in the comment section. And as always, I will see you boys in the next one.